Hey y'all, I'm Shayna. If you're new here, I'm reviewing Ready to Love Miami episode 8. If you watched my last two reviews, I've already said that I'm feeling under the weather. So, I apologize if you hear a little cough or if you can just tell overall, I am down and out, but I'm still here to bring you the content. I'm excited about this episode in particular because I have some tea on one of the cast members. I don't normally do gossip or anything like that. I try to, steer clear of that stuff. But I did talk to someone in particular who gave me the inside scoop on LJ, and I will get into that, and I may make a separate video for that because I got to 100 subscribers. So do me a favor, I'm trying to get to 1,000. Hit that subscribe button. Definitely like and share the video if you like this video. I'm going to get into the review. I just want to briefly tell y'all in this review what was said, and I'm going to leave her TikTok down in the description. So definitely go ahead and follow V, which is LJ's ex-wife, over there on TikTok. I'll leave her information. She just let me know briefly, and I'm going to be very respectful, that he stated earlier in the season that he got cheated on when in fact, allegedly, he was the one doing the cheating. And then she also gave me a little tidbit that on tonight's episode, his supposed ex was actually his current girlfriend that he was living with at the time of filming. And that's, alleged, but as I watched the episode, what she was saying seemed to be true, in my opinion. So we definitely gonna get into it. I'll make a separate video with the receipts and everything. And y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. So we start with the fellows meeting in the gentleman's lounge. They need to introduce the ladies to their truth teller, whether it's an ex, a friend, whoever. Most of the guys picked exes. Some picked friends. So we start with Randall. He chose his ex. And I was surprised he had an ex in Miami. He didn't say if she flew in or anything. But he said he just moved there. So I was surprised that he had an ex readily available. Randall tells his ex that he's bringing 3 women. And she was like, damn, 3? So I found that to be funny. But she was very cute. I liked her. She said they dated back in 2014 for about 2 years. But she said they should have just remained friends. They shouldn't have dated, they were better off as friends. And I'm thinking, you felt that way after 2 years? Hey, sometimes it takes a little while to figure it out. Y'all know I gotta drink my tea and eat my haul so I can keep going. So, Kayla and Jamala are there. We know who his top 3 are, Kayla, Jamala, and Trinika. Kayla and Jamala are, I see a little competitiveness between them. Again, when Jamala's talking, Kayla's rolling her eyes, and every time she says rah, 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 like Kayla is visibly annoyed. So they're at it again. Trinika, I love Trinika. I do. Her answer was kind of giving pick me vibe-ish again, and I hate to see it. But that's what it was kind of giving me, like you just saying the right thing just to get picked. I don't... But at the end, she made up for it, so it's fine. The ex said after the ladies left that she doesn't feel like she got to know the real Trinika. And she said Jamala was, when she asked her about her future goals, Jamala's answers were all about Randall versus her. Like, what about you, though? And so Kayla got her vote. I like the ex, Brittany, and I like her opinion. I think, and just in this setting, Kayla got my vote as well. So, but we know Randall's really feeling Jamala. So at the end of the day, he gonna pick who he want. We move on to Mike, and he introduces his 2 ladies to Jerlonda. That's his childhood friend that he grew up with. Kayla arrives first, and Mike confirms that he's attracted to Kayla. And that's where it starts and stops. Like, what else? Like, he didn't say anything else about her that he's really interested in. Nothing about her personality or nothing they have in common. Nothing. Just, purely physical attraction. Excuse me. Brandy admitted, because she showed up, that in the past she didn't want to date men with children. Mike looked a little taken aback, like he was a little caught off guard. But she said initially, she was not into dating men who had children. We know she doesn't have any, so understandable. You don't have any, so I can understand why that may be a preference. As she got older, she realized like probably like girl, your options is getting fewer and thinner and slimmer, so she had to let that go. Caitlin says she wants children, and Mike was like, "We already talked about this," and like try to hurry her along. And she said, she and her previous relationship had an issue with the co-parenting dynamic, but he explained that that's not an issue with him, and so she's fine with it. But I'm like, why does he always do that when she's saying something? He's like trying to hush her up. Like, I don't know. That was crazy. So the friend seems to be leaning more towards Brandy, but she said at the end of the day, it's up to Mike. It is up to Mike, and we know he's going to go with Brandy. Because when it was last week and the friend was asking about children, he didn't just shut it down. He said he's open to it. So we know when he's not really talking about children, he's not interested in a woman. Next, Samson brings his ex from out of town. He said she flew in from out of town. Very pretty. Excuse me. Samson invited Sharice, Brandy, and Looney. Looney threw me off guard. That caught me off guard because where did that come from? I don't even remember seeing Samson and Looney talking. But I guess just to try to narrow it down. So Sharice says she's willing to fight for Samson. Like, you got to go after what you want type of thing. And Looney is like, no. She said Sharice, in her confessional, she was saying Sharice was giving her pick-me vibes. Like, what are we talking about? She's like, what's for me is for me. I am not chasing nobody. It will be for me. And Brandy had a problem with him giving everyone gifts. Like, is it genuine? She's not sure. I like that the ladies also asked the ex questions, though. They asked, it was a little back and forth. It wasn't just like the ex interviewing them. They got some information from her as well. The ex said it took a while for Samson to open up. Ultimately, the ex likes Sharice. So that's who she picked. So we move on, and Swayze picked his friend Ish, and I have to apologize to Swayze. I was wrong last week at the end of my review. We know we had an issue with Swayze and his preferences and who he was dating, and at the end, I had mentioned that on this episode, he was meeting his ex. He had his ex on the episode who was Latina. But it wasn't Swayze, it was LJ. And y'all know I be getting Swayze and LJ confused. So from the side profile, it was looking like Swayze, but it was LJ. So I was wrong, and I apologize, Swayze, if you see this. I actually do like Swayze. I don't have anything against Swayze at all. I just got the two mixed up. And then we do a little back and forth with scenes between Swayze and LJ. They didn't do that with nobody else. They do it with them. And I'm like, y'all know I be getting them confused. Why are we doing this? Really, LJ should have just got his own little segment. I guess Swayze didn't have enough going on. But LJ was interested. His situation was interesting enough alone. So Swayze's friend Ish is there, and LJ bought his ex. And Trinika is the first to arrive with LJ. And she asked the ex, when did they break up? I'm not sure when this was filmed, but the ex said earlier this year. They were like, earlier this year, 6 months ago, 3 months. They just trying to think of something. Which, now that we already know the information from the ex-wife behind the scenes, it's all alleged. We don't know this to be 100% facts, and I'm not going to be biased off of what she told me. I'm just going to make my review, comments off of what I see on here. But it was in the back of my mind that, with the dates, kind of the math wasn't really mathing over there. It wasn't adding up completely. In a way that the ex was looking at him the whole time, like, is something still going on? We'll get into it. So, Katie is talking to Swayze's friend, and, he's asked about, any issues they may have. There was, some kind of tension, and she said that she can talk through issues, or Swayze typically shuts down. It seems like that normally, not normally, it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes that's the dynamic between men and women. When the women want to talk about it, we can express our emotions, and the men kind of shut down. So, understandable. The friend is just trying to see if they can work through that. So Trinika asked Lauren, the ex, when she and LJ last had sex. I wouldn't have thought to ask that, but I'm glad that she did. I guess she could see, like, there's still something between y'all two. Lauren, the ex, said they had sex last month. And Trinika was like, last month was like 2 days ago. So, excuse me. Looney asks, is there a possibility that they can get back together because y'all had sex last month? And they were like, but we met you last month. So when we were meeting you, y'all were having sex. Red flag, flag on the play, flags on the board. And after Looney asked if there was a possibility if they may get back together in the future, LJ said never say never. LJ is going home next, period. LJ is going home next once the word gets out. He was already on the bottom like 10 times. So you're already not feeling him. Now, I was going, kind of rooting for him a little bit. But now that this ex-son, he should have picked somebody else. But Lauren said that she still loves LJ. And LJ said, he got love for her, yet, whatever. But he's looking for something new and he's trying to move forward with something new. You're trying to move forward with staying on the show. And I don't see how these people, they always on these shows, and then we find out later they had somebody the whole time. Like, how is the person okay with them being on a dating show? Like, what are you trying to gain? Because we don't quite know what LJ does, where he's trying to, get publicity. So what was the point of this? I don't know. Let me come with the receipts, what the wife was talking about. So, LJ just wishes that his ex would have asked the ladies more questions. She was just sitting there eyeing him the whole time. She didn't really ask anything. She answered their questions, but she didn't ask any questions. Swayze's friend says he sees potential with Swayze and Katie, but he said don't rush into it. Take your time and get to know her. And again, we're going to just spill the tea. The tea runneth over. The cup runneth over. But word on the street is that Swayze and Katie are still together. So if that's true, then, apparently they were able to work through it. And I do like them together. I like Katie when she comes in, like when she has all that makeup on, less is more for her. When she has on the least amount of makeup and, her hair just natural, natural look to it, that just, she looks stunning that way. Like, she does not need all that extraness. So then this is when it starts to pick up a bit. So Mike, Katie, and Charisse and LJ meet up for a double date, which, just seemed like a friendly gathering because there's no connection between any of the four of them. But they meet up, and Mike, Katie, begins to talk. They're just catching up on the week and seeing how the dates went and things like that. Mike thinks Katie is trying to start drama, like she's, full of drama, whatever. And, her approach, she's like, I can't even answer the question before you coming at me with more questions, like. And, he kind of looks at Charisse, and she's like, yeah, her approach is aggressive. And we know how we feel about using that word in terms like that when speaking amongst people in our community. We don't like to do it unless it is absolutely factual. I don't know if that was the right word to use, but Katie was definitely, she gave me mean girl vibes before, and it's like, I want to like her, but when it comes to her and the ladies, she makes it difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. So, Katie said she didn't come to make friends. But Charisse is like, you did say you wanted to be friends and all that. And, she has receipts. She has receipts of text messages where Katie was saying she wanted to be friends. And Katie was like, okay, you know what? I was lying. Like, I didn't mean it. Or whatever. Charisse calls her fake. They going back and forth. Like, but Charisse is backing her stuff up with facts. Like, well, I know how we felt about Charisse in the beginning. But the whole time we was looking at Charisse's side eye, we should have been looking over there at Katie. Charisse calls Katie a bully. And, that's her opinion. But I low-key agree with that. Like, I'm low-key agreeing with the bully statement because she was like, oh, Katie, you're a bully. And Katie was like, wow. Like, she's not denying it. She didn't deny it. I'm going to say that. I don't... Like, what happened? Like, before the women, we didn't used to have all this cattiness in the earlier seasons. Like, the women got along. All this fighting amongst the women. It just rarely happens amongst the men. Like, we've got to do better. So the men meet at the gentleman's lounge to deliberate, and Tommy also lets them know that next week they'll be going out of town. And I'm like, this season is flying by. Like, it seems so much longer in previous episodes. Like, it seemed like it took a longer to get to these points. Right now, we're just getting straight to it. Like, is this a shorter season? I don't know. So the gentleman picked Trinika and Looney. I was nervous there. I thought Sharice was going to be in the bottom again. I was glad to see that she wasn't, because her name was mentioned in the deliberation. But it was Trinika and Looney. So Trinika is pissed. She's stomping in there upset because she already knows what time it is. And, she just can't even believe that she's there. And she tells Mike, like, stop playing games, cut to the chase. Like, I know what this is about. Samson gets Looney some flowers, and, let her down gently and calmly. And Looney appreciates them, but she also knows what time it is. She knows she's at the bottom as well. So Mike says some of the guys feel like, it's hard to get to know Trinika. Trinika just started cussing him out. Like, she just started letting him have it, like, with her brace on and all. Like, you sure you don't got no brace on your wrist from throwing hands, girl? Okay. Tell us how you really feel. And she said she's put in effort. She put in effort to get to know these guys, but she's not about to chase nobody. Period. Okay, sis. Right. I will put in effort, but chasing y'all down, like Justice, for instance, he's not here anymore, but y'all men want to be, courted and everything else. What is going on? These women want to be treated like ladies. So Samson said Looney isn't ready to love any of them. She's not ready to love any of the guys there. So I like that delivery. And Looney handled it well. She's just like, that's fine. Like, I enjoyed the time. And she got to play they had a full spread on the table. So she got a nice full meal before she got up out of there. She knew her guy wasn't there. And after Justice left, which why was she even looking at Justice, girl? Once you watch the season back, please don't talk to him. But I feel like once he left, she knew there was nobody there for her. And I feel like that's why she was fine with it. And who do I think will go? Trinika was excited that she's still ready to leave. She jumped in Mike's arms. Glad to see she's still there. I don't think it's her time to go yet. But I'm also wondering if her guy is there. If I had to pick who Trinika's guy would be, it would have been LJ. But obviously, just from this meeting with his ex alone, there's still some unresolved business that way. And what I think will go next week, I think LJ will go. Because he's just been in the bottom too many times. And I feel like Looney was a strong connection at first. She's not. I mean, Trinika kind of is, but knowing what she knows about this ex, she'd be crazy to, in my opinion, to continue going when you're still sleeping with the woman. You're still sleeping with the ex. And allegedly still living with her. We don't know. But drop down in the comments. Let me know if y'all want me to make a separate video with those receipts. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. And, I try to give y'all all I got. I am definitely under the weather. So for that alone, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell. Share with a friend. All that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.